It's Monday, the 22nd of January. We're waking up after the effects of Storm Isha. I hope you didn't get blown away last night. Properly windy on the Devon coast this morning. I've been out there. This morning, I wanted to just talk about, I know that most agents have heard about this, but I wanted to talk about the massive opportunity for switched on agents to do something that's not only good for your clients and your business, but actually is a new requirement anyway. It sounds really boring when National Trading Standards for Estate and Letting Agents announces new guidance on material information, blah, blah, blah. But actually, if you can use it to help yourself win an instruction over a competitor, if you can use it to help yourself win an instruction on better terms with the seller, in other words, get more commitment from the seller, and if you can win instructions that are more readily saleable in this difficult 2024 market, it actually makes a lot of sense, because nothing in this guidance isn't already required for a sale to happen anyway. Do you see what I mean? In other words, everything in this list that is required would be required before an exchange can happen anyway. So it makes sense. Imagine you're sitting in the living room of a client, and they are perhaps asking you to not have a long-term sole agency lock-in contract and maybe wanted to negotiate on your fee. Well, if I was an agent and I thought I had a chance of winning this instruction, and I might say to them, well, if you could show me a commitment from your side of your commitment to how serious you are about actually selling with me, then yeah, maybe we could agree that fee, and we could agree those terms. And that would be making sure that the seller provides all the information that's needed under the new guidance. Now, it's not a change in the law. The law is the same, which is that you must always provide all material information on a property. But the law wasn't very clear about it, and the new guidance that was released in November is basically clarifying that. Now, I've linked to it below. And in a nutshell, so what I want to point out to you is it's actually worth doing this for your own business anyway. It makes sense. It massively improves the chances of of increasing the saleability of your instructions. So here it is: material information in property listings. Is that on screen? Yes. So it came out on November 23. There's a link to this PDF below on the NTS website. And I'm not going to go, it's 34 pages, and there's a lot of guff in there you don't need to go into, but just have a quick look at the headlines of it. And so let's just get down to, here we are. So section, part A, let's just get that as big as we can. That was already, that guidance had already been put out, and you guys are already supposed to be doing that, okay? But what's new is section B and section C. And section B is, or section 2, part B, physical characteristics of the property. And it's included things like number of rooms, utilities, electricity, water, sewage supply, heating, broadband, mobile signal coverage, and parking. And part C is where you've really got to get information from the seller. Building safety, restrictions and rights, flood/erosion risks. And there are real opportunities here for you to bring your client's property to the market in a much more saleable condition. And if your sellers are reluctant to do this, I would question their seriousness about selling. And I would actually go, well, you need, if you want to sell, you're going to have to do this anyway. So in this more difficult market for selling, and yes, I know some of you are going, it's a great market, it's easy, it's fine, we're really busy and we're selling lots of stuff. And there are agents that are doing that, and that's fantastic. You guys are already probably a step ahead here. But for everyone else who's experiencing the challenges of the 2024 market, this represents an opportunity, because all of the work you need to do to get your sellers to provide this information, none of it's wasted if they sell. And so if I were an agent out there now winning instructions in this difficult market and being worried about having the cost, the time and the expense of listing a property that's not going to sell because the seller doesn't understand what they've got to do, this would make me, really make me feel like my sellers were committed. Now, the overvaluing agents and overpricing agents who are bringing stuff to the market without all this information there, let them have those sellers that can't be bothered or don't understand what they need to do to actually sell. Let them have each other. Let those sellers and those agents waste each other's time, okay? What you need to do is to be making sure that you don't list anything that you can't sell, because you're letting yourself down and your business down in this difficult market, and you should walk away from that stuff. But this is how it's a really good way to actually make sure that the sellers that you are listing are serious about selling and are actually going to make you fee. And the best part of all is that with this stuff done up front, you are going to shrink the transaction time by 1 to 2 months, meaning there's a much smaller chance of your buyer pulling out or the transaction falling through. And you will know up front if there are problems that are going to affect the sale. Now, what on that list of things I've just described isn't brilliant news? What on that list isn't a great idea for both you and your clients and the buyers? Let the unsellable sellers and the unsellable properties go on with the agents that want to overvalue and just list anything at any price. Leave them to each other in this market, right? And let their stock sit on the shelf, because what you want as a smart, intelligent, forward-thinking agent is stuff that you know that you can sell and get paid for. All right. So I hope that's helpful. By the way, tonight I've got 2 former estate agents on the channel at 8 p.m. doing a live Q&A about getting properties onto the market contract ready. It makes sense for sellers. It makes sense for agents. Both of these guys were former agents. One of them's now conveyancing. One of them's now a search pack provider. So if you're around 8 p.m. Monday evening, I recommend you watch that on the Moving Home with Charlie channel. And I look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one of these videos. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Have a good day. And just never forget the importance of what good agents do, right? You change people's lives. You help them out of a sticky spot into the next phase of their life. And that is commendable and honorable in anyone's book if you do it well. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.